Good morning, guys. So this is going to be, I guess this is going to be part 2 of the garage build, even though it's still just preparation. And tied into that is going to be redoing the plumbing for the water catchment system. I just have to kind of do them both at the same time, just because of the way that it's being done, and the plumbing is going to run kind of side by side. So the next couple of segments of video that you're going to see are actually from a little while ago when I still had my beard, before I shaved. When I had James here last and he was doing some excavator work, part of the stuff he was doing was for this project, and then I also have another project too. But anyway, that'll be the next segments of video you see. Then it'll skip back to me with less beard. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Please like and please subscribe if you haven't already. So as part of the garage project, one thing that I will need to be doing down the road is once the garage is built, I plan on putting solar on there. So eventually that solar system will need to get tied into the house. So I'm going to have to do some trenching, and then I'm going to have to run electrical, and I'm also going to run water from the house to where the garage is. So what James is going to be working on now is digging a trench. So the trench is going to go basically from the sidewalk here on the side of the house, where you can see he's starting to dig right now. And then I will have to dig out underneath the sidewalk, and then the pipes will run under the sidewalk and actually go underneath the house. So it'll tie into the existing system. So the trench he is digging is going to come basically straight up to here. We have to go around this. This is the drain pipe that goes over to the catchment. So during the same time when he's doing this trenching, I'm also going to have him put a new trench from here over to this corner, and I'm going to redo the drain. And also the incoming line, which is this line, runs this way, and it's exposed above the ground and actually runs along the sidewalk over to the pump house. So all of this plumbing is going to get replaced, and then also the plumbing is going to run from here. The trench is going to continue here, and then basically come up to where it will tie into the pad. So eventually all this is going to be under cement. So I'm going to be running electrical conduit so that the electrical wires can run through, and then I'm also going to be running PVC piping that I'm going to feed PEX tubing through. So the piping that's going to go in there won't actually be for the water, it's just going to be to run PEX piping through it. So I want to get that done now because, as I was saying before, one of the next things we're planning to do and saving up for is to lay concrete in the carport. So that'll be slabbed over, and the slab is actually going to extend out about 3 feet or so from here to create the sidewalk that's going to go to the garage space. All right, the trench here is pretty much done. I'm gonna have to, of course, dig this out and then dig underneath the sidewalk, because then the piping will actually go through there and come out behind the lattice underneath the house. So there's a couple of big rocks in here. Gonna have to just try and dig those out. We'll see if we can get them out though, because they're still a little high to keep this trench level, I guess. So before we get into that, whoa, took off. Just wanted to show the status of the chicken coop right now. As you can see, most obvious, I started bringing in wood chips. This is like a wood chip mulch. Basically just spreading that around. That's going to help draw in worms and bugs and stuff for the chickens to eat. Plus they love digging in it. So I need to go get probably one more load, and I'm going to end up putting it underneath the coop area over there. I moved the watering station that was in the coop out here. They still use it a little bit. Obviously I did the whole new watering system in the last video. And then another, big thing is I planted my papaya trees. Those are here inside the chicken run, and right now there's just temporary fencing around them until they get a little bit taller to where the chickens can't chew all the leaves off, because they definitely will try to bite the leaves. And then over here you can see the chickens. They really like that corner. Usually they're walking all over the coop, but they always go over there and they huddle for a little while. And then the rest of the water system, which I said that I would show an update on. So basically, in the last video, this valve was over on this end. I cut that, I added the 90. I added the 6 watering stations here. 90, put the valve back on, 45. Going out towards the fence, there's 2 support posts there. And then, if I want to flush the system, I can just do that, open it up. And yeah, so that's it for the watering system. It's all done. So pretty much everything on the coop is done now. Everything on the run is pretty much done. As you can see, I painted this pipe. I will probably go back and I may end up painting that blue as well, or I might just leave it white. I'm not sure. The whole coop still needs one more coat of paint anyway, so that was only 1 coat that was on there. But yeah, other than that, everything is pretty much done. So let's transition over to the current project. Oh yeah, look at my pigeon pea. They're actually taller than the shed now. Then I have some kale that's growing here. This is really, doing well here at this elevation. Beautiful kale. I don't really eat kale. I grow that because I feed it to the chickens and they love it. They just tear up some kale. All right, so you saw in all the previous videos of when James was here, and you can see how overgrown this has gotten since he was here. I need to go through and do some weed whacking as well, but basically there's the main trench here that's cut, and you can see the drain line for the water catchment tank coming across here, goes over to there and then into the tank. What's going to happen is this pipe is going to get cut. I'm going to put a collar. It's going to go straight down to a 90. It's going to cut straight across and then go into the tank here. And then this is the outgoing line, which goes to the pump house. So that is also going to get replaced. And it will go back through this channel as well. And then it will go that way underneath the sidewalk, and it'll connect. This is the piping right there you see going into the pump house with the big red valve handle there. And that's going to be the incoming water. So in addition to that, I'm going to be adding some piping that's going to come from underneath the house. It's going to be basically a PVC tube that's just going to be the tube itself. It's going to run this way, come all the way across to here. Somewhere in this point, I'm going to tee it off, and I want to add a water spigot here on this corner of the shed. And then from here, the piping is going to come up, go over this direction, and then it'll probably just end up getting capped there in the meantime until I figure out how I'm going to do the slab work, I guess, for the garage. So there's going to be a PVC pipe which I will run PEX line through. So the PVC pipe is not going to be for the water itself. I could do that, but I don't want to take the chance of it breaking, because eventually there's going to be concrete poured over top of this. So when we get the slab done here in the carport, we're going to extend it out about 4 feet from the corner of the shed here. So it'll end up being a 3-foot sidewalk that will come this direction to the garage. There will end up being probably a step up somewhere in here and then another step up to get up to the level of where this retaining wall is and where the slab will be. In addition to that PVC line that's going to be for the water, I'm going to be running electrical conduit. And basically the electrical conduit right now is going to just be empty. I'm going to actually run 2 electrical conduits. So one is going to end up being like an 1.5 or 2-inch line, something along that size, because eventually once the garage is built, then the solar, we will eventually get solar put in on the garage, and then I want to be able to tie that into the house. So that is what the electrical conduit will be for. And then the second conduit line that I'm going to run is going to be for Ethernet cable, so that I can put a Wi-Fi router in the garage and have internet out here as well. So that is basically what this episode is going to be. Just a lot of digging and then putting in the piping and all that. A lot more explanation, but it's going to be a lot of work too, so I'll get to it. All right, so in this main trench, there are a couple of big rocks here that I need to dig out, which there's one right there, there's one right here, and then there's one up here. So I need to get those out so that I can make this trench here slightly deeper, because the stuff coming through here is going to have to go underneath this drain line. It's going to go that way. So I need this to have a little bit more depth in it. When James was digging these out originally, he could have got these, I guess, if he wanted to throw the jackhammer on there, but they were, I guess, too deep. He couldn't really grab them with the claw because they were still, you know, buried partially. So I'm going to work on digging those out. Okay, so all that work was for one rock. It was a pretty big one. So things to consider if you're thinking about moving to Puna. Yeah, these rocks suck. And the problem is they kind of interlock together. So you pry it up a little bit and then they just lock back together. You pry it, they lock back together. So you saw how many rocks I had to pull out just to get that one rock out. Tired and sweating. Okay, I won't bore you guys with more digging, so we'll just wait until I get this done and then start putting the piping in. Might even be another day. All right, so this is my progress so far. I got this trench dug out and dug all the way over to there. So this is going to be the first part that I'm going to be redoing, which is going to be the drain line for all the rainwater. This is going to get cut right there, tied in to a 90 straight to here, straight to this 90, then to that 90. Then this is the existing line. This is going to get cut and moved over to here. And then for the return or the outlet that's going to the house, which is this line, I have this piece here, which I made. So that 90 is going to go down in the corner. It's just sitting upright right now, so it's out of the way. Going to go here, and then it'll cut across that way as well. And then that one will actually turn and go to the house because it's going to tie into the pump house over there where that line is. And then this one's just going to go right here, and then that'll be it. So the actual catchment fill is going to be the first one that I redo. Over here, I just opened up this rubber boot to drain all the water because at any given time, this has water in it. So whatever the level point is between this line here and this line here, it's full of water. So I just opened that boot to let all the water out. And you can see why I'm changing this, because it has a 90, a 90, a 90, a 90, a rubber boot, and it goes like diagonal over to there, then up. So I just want it to be a straight shot and to actually be better buried. And then this line here was actually the water to the house before. So this catchment tank was new when we bought the house, or it was replaced just before we bought the house. So they redid all the plumbing. And right now the plumbing for this one actually just goes along the grass over here. And right over here, it's actually exposed above the ground. So that's another one of the reasons I want to reroute it this way. And then it just runs along the sidewalk to there and then comes up and goes into the pump house. So that's it. Getting ready to chop this and chop this and then connect everything back together. So up looking inside of my tank, which I don't know how well this is going to show up. But you can see there's a lot of debris on the bottom. So that's going to be one of the next things that I'm going to do, is I'm going to make basically like a PVC tube that's long enough to reach the bottom and put like a T in there, and then you just siphon the water out and it'll work like a vacuum cleaner, and then it will suck all of this stuff out. There's actually services that'll come and clean your catchment tank, but I mean, why pay for it when it's fairly easy to do? So yeah, another project down the road. All right, so this is the drain, I guess, that empties the water from the roof into the catchment tank. So you can see all it is just a T that goes up here, or a 90 and then a 45, and then just dumps right in. So that is going to get cut and it's going to get moved over to here. All right, this piece has been cut and then trimmed and glued into place. So this side's done. I cut off that piece down there, so I need to trim those two 90s off, and then we'll put a coupler, an extension, a 90, and then tie into this one. So I know I'm not really filming too much of this, but I figured you guys have seen me, you know, cut and glue enough PVC piping. So getting ready to chop this one now, and then connect it over to that other piece. All right, this pipe is completely done and glued together all the way up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the hose and spray water up there, because I want to fill this pipe up totally. That way the suction will work as far as you know, draining. Cool. Okay, I have the inlet pipe now in place with just a valve there until I'm actually ready to swap this over. And then I started burying the lines here, and basically they'll be buried up to that point, because I still have to run stuff from under the sidewalk over to here before I can fill all that back in. All right guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. I have the inlet piping, as you can see, I have run up to this point and I just have it capped right now. There is the electrical conduit that I need, they currently don't have in stock at Home Depot. So I have to wait till that comes in, and I can't really continue with this part of the, you know, the piping and trench until I can get that electrical conduit. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this one here. I think this video is getting close to 20 minutes now anyway, so I don't want it to be too long. And this is going to be a long series. You know, I have no idea how long it's going to take me to build this garage, you know, because just the money part of it and materials, you know, the concrete slab is going to be the biggest part of that. So this is all just legwork to get up to that point. So I just want to say thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe to my channel. I will have more videos coming, and I will see you guys on the next video. Aloha.